Hey guys, this week I want to talk about teamwork and scaling and how to actually take your business from you being the one and only person in it to finally beginning to hire and find others who can help you grow. The problem with this that I've come across more than anything else is past experience has now created this lack of confidence in the owner that they're unsure about who to hire, who to trust, what could go wrong, and they're no longer thinking about all of the things that can go right and how you can actually grow and expand and create more impact if you find the right person or people. So, I wanted to talk about a few things that you need to be aware of before you take this leap. First and foremost, you have to become the person that leads. So you have to go from doing, the working, the wearing all the hats. You have to change from that perspective, those actions. You have to become the person who leads others. This is tricky because so many of us are used to doing it alone. We're used to doing it our own way. We like having control, which is a good thing. And believe it or not, you will have more control if you do this the right way. If you figure out these few things I'm going to talk about today ahead of time, it's going to stop you from falling into some of the pitfalls. So here you go. Who do you need to become to have others want to work with you? Well, number one, you have to be a good person. You have to be ethical, moral, legal. You have to be a representation of your product or service. In other words, you have to be a success of using it because people believe what they see, not what they hear. So if you're trying to sell something that you don't actually do, you're not going to get the credibility. You're not going to get the ethical presence. In other words, they're not going to see you as an ethical person, and then they're just not going to believe you or not long term. So you have to become the success in your own right using your own products. You have to believe in it even more than anyone else. The other thing is you have to be okay with commands. You have to be okay with making sure other people duplicate. Now, this sounds simple, right? You're like, yeah, of course, I like telling people what to do. But it's a little more complicated than that. So if you have a history of being like in control, being a leader, commanding, and you've had people come at you for that, and then you've gotten this lack of confidence in it, or you believe what those people say about authority, you might have a hard time with this part. So I like to say we must regulate our nervous system for success because we have been regulated for struggle. That's simple. We have been taught that life is hard. Things are hard. There's a lot of troubles. We are solving a lot of problems, and our brain has gotten used to being a problem solver. But now you are going to become the example of how you as a team are going to solve problems. Not you as the owner and the doer, but the team is going to solve problems. Otherwise, you're going to become the bottleneck in your own business. You're going to get in your own way, and you're not going to be able to hire good people because you're not going to be able to delegate correctly. So you have to become the person who's actually used the products and is successful, and you can prove that. You have to believe beyond reason that this is the right thing, it's the right product or service, it works, and other people can be successful selling it, promoting it, and delivering it. That's a really big ask. So if you've already been successful in your business with your product or service, you already have that done. So you can check that off the list. Next, it's can you give orders and make commands? Now think about your history in life, like just from the beginning up till now, even when you were a kid, right? Because I remember I was a little controlling. I wanted to be the teacher in the room whenever we were playing. And I wanted to be the person who told other people what to do because I thought I knew better. My friends and my family did not all like that. And so they would fight against it and tell me I was too bossy. I can't tell them what to do. You don't know. And believe it or not, that stuff kind of sticks in your mind. So you want to get that taken care of. And you do want to become the person who trusts yourself to give orders because you know it's the right thing. You know it's the right thing to do now, to do for the product, and to do for the customers. So now you're just going to add another layer of that. Now it's the right thing to do for the team. The team needs you to be solid and certain. So whenever you are looking for someone to come into work for the company, you want to use a filter. What does that mean, a filter? It's like if you had a net and you were trying to filter out the bigger fish from the little ones and you were in the ocean, then you might have bigger holes so the little ones fall through and you only catch a certain size. So it's a filter. It's a way to eliminate some and keep the others. So that is going to be in the form of questioning and application. So if you are considering hiring someone, maybe bringing on another practitioner into the business or even hiring a VA, one of the things you need to make sure that you do is give them something to do. If they were doing like VA work or marketing, sale, anything like that, you want to give them the actual project that has to do with what they're going to be doing on a daily basis. So we just hired someone new. And so we gave her a landing page and we said, go and create this in your own way. Go recreate this. And then we took the podcast and said, go and create a post like for social media. So for that person to do the post, for the other person to do the funnel, the steps in the funnel, because that's what we're hiring them to do. And so in my case, if I were hiring a coach, one of my coaches who's been through the program and now becoming part of the company, then I'm going to give them the assignment to do exactly what I'm going to want them to do. And it might be a coach call. And so it's like, okay, you're going to take the call Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Here is the way that we do it. I'm going to lay it out. First, you start with this, and then you do this, and then you say this, and then you end here, right? 4 steps. This is exactly what you're going to do. If they can't follow that, if they can't do that, they're not the right person because they're not able to duplicate. And if someone can't duplicate, you can't delegate. Because if you're delegating and they're not duplicating it, you're never going to be able to scale because then you have a bunch of random things happening inside of the company. So if you are hiring a new practitioner, you not only want them to serve your clients, you want them to maintain your clients and get more clients, right? And so you need to position it in that way. And so you want to show them exactly how to do that. Biggest mistake I see. The owner thinks the other person knows. Promise you they don't know. If they could do what you could do, they would be doing it. And so we often miss this step, and it is going to create the most trouble in your business. Just tell them what you think they already know. Ask them to repeat it back to you, and then show you how they're going to do it. 3 steps. It's super simple. Tell them what you think they already know. Have them repeat it back to you, and then have them do it. 3 steps. That can happen on any interview, first, second, or third interview. If you already know the person and you know you like them and you don't need to go through that first step, it's like, already I've been working with this person for this long. I already know who they are. Good. Then just give them the assignment. Another thing that you can do in this process is ask them what your company stands for. Ask them what your final product is. Like when a client comes into the door, here's where we want them to end up. And if they can't tell you what your core values, your mission, what your company stands for, and they can't tell you what your end product is, probably not the right person, or it's probably not the right time. Okay. So these things will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of money, and distress in the business. So let's repeat. First of all, you have to become the success of your own product or service. You need to have certainty, credibility, and you need to be committed because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to come in and think they are good at what they do or think they know what you're talking about, but they don't fully understand. And it's your job to make sure they do. And you can do that by being the success yourself because that's going to raise your standards of what you're going to accept from someone else. If you're not the product, If you're not doing what you're selling, chances are you're going to let them slip and then everything's going to go downhill. So you first and foremost have to be the success. Second of all, you want to put a filter into place and you want to make sure that they go through the filter. Never, ever, ever not make them go through the filter. You already know. You know what it takes to be successful. You know what you're looking for. And you know that when your gut is telling you this is not the right thing, don't doubt yourself. Put them through the filter instead and let the filter decide. Let the filter determine if it's the right person and if it's the right time. All right, those are the most important pieces. The last one I spoke on, I think I put it in the different order, is to make sure that they can do the project. So if you are hiring someone for marketing, then you're going to tell them to go and put up a post, maybe to go edit a reel or a video. If they are working in the tech department or helping you in the system, then you want to give them a project of what they're actually going to be doing. Like, hey, we have Coach Week coming up. Speaking of, make sure you sign up for Coach Week. Can you go and create a landing page and go and see what they can do? And make sure that you give them feedback, tell them to go and change something, and then see if they can change it. You want to actually give them the project, and then you want to correct it and make sure that they know how to duplicate what you tell them and how to correct. Got it? Duplicate just means they can repeat it back to you. They understood you, and now they can go take action. That's it. That's your responsibility, is go and be a success. And then go and find good people who know how to duplicate so that you can delegate, so that you guys can create more impact and help more people. That's it. That's your tip of the week. All right. Make sure you're signed up for Coach Week if you haven't done so already. And if you want to come into the community where you can get coaching, there's a link. You'll sign up for the email list. Make sure that you keep in touch with us. We have a free community and all kinds of good stuff going on. And I want to make sure you don't miss it. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.